Okay.
Thank you.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support this motion. In fact, the member for Madari has read my mind in presenting this motion because it is a motion that is timely. They say the youth of a nation are trustees of prosperity. And therefore, as a nation, we have a choice either to take advantage of the youth population bulge to spur the economic growth or to leave it become a menace. I think there have existed several funds in this country on the youth programs, Wezo Fund being one of them. But Mr. Speaker, some of these funds pointing out Wezo Fund that was mostly geared towards entrepreneurial skills. Not all our youth are entrepreneurs. Some want just to pursue education, others pursue their various talents. So it is important that we emerge most of these funds into one kitty so that we take care of the various interests of the youth. And research have shown, Mr. Speaker, that almost close to 9 in every 10 of unemployed Kenyans are below 35 years. So as a nation, we are grappling with a high unemployed youth population. Some of them have been taken away by the societal, social vices. Some have been recruited in terrorism groups. Some are carried away in drugs, prostitution, and such like social vices that are destroying the social fabric of this nation. So, Mr. Speaker, it is timely that as a nation, we must think critically on how to harness the potential of our youth. And one way is merging all these funds that have been allocated before into one constituency fund, maybe managed by an authority. And they do exist an act called the Social Assistance Act. This act, Mr. Speaker, has never been operationalized. It gives allowance for the government to take care of the vulnerable groups, wazes. The youth are also vulnerable. Mr. Speaker, if you have pesa kwa wazee, why don't we also have pesa kwa vijana? Because all these groups are vulnerable. And now it is important that we declare this as a national disaster, and not just declaring, but having a national conversation around it, so that we are able to take care of the youthful force that forms an integral part of our nation. And when we talk about Agenda 4, the President Uhuru's government has focused on manufacturing as one of the Agenda 4. And we cannot talk about manufacturing if we not take care of the many youths who are supposed to be skilled enough.
Now, Hon Amisi, there is a complaint from this other side of the House that there is no Agenda 4. There is only Big 4 agenda.
Yes, whether they're small or big, they're all important. So let's call it the Big 4 for the satisfaction of my colleague. And all in all, let us not lose the sight. What is important here is that it touches on manufacturing. And for us to achieve milestone in that Agenda 4, the Big 4, we must be talking clearly about equipping our youth with necessary skills in production. And therefore, some of these funds, National Fund for the Youth, will be used to take care of training institutions to equip our youth